Imagine this. You or someone you love reaches a point where living alone is no longer safe. Maybe there have been falls, maybe the cooking has stopped, maybe the loneliness has become unbearable. And the first thing everyone around you says is, maybe it's time for a nursing home. But here is what most families don't know. A nursing home is rarely the only option, and for most people, it is not even the best one. Today, I'm going to show you the real alternatives that keep you or your loved one living with dignity, comfort, and genuine quality of life. Stay with me, because this information could change everything. Welcome back to Healthy Living After 50. I'm Dr. Michael Kent, and today we are talking about one of the most emotionally charged and practically important topics in senior health: what to do when living independently becomes difficult or unsafe, and why a nursing home should almost never be your first answer. Now, I want to be clear from the start. Nursing homes serve an important purpose, and for a small number of people with very complex medical needs, they are genuinely the right choice. But here is the reality that most families are not told when they're sitting in a doctor's office or an emergency room feeling overwhelmed and scared. The majority of older adults who end up in nursing homes could have thrived in a far better, far more personalized environment with the right support in place. Studies show that nearly 70% of people in nursing homes could have remained in community-based settings with proper care. 70%. And yet, because families don't know what those alternatives look like, nursing home placement becomes the default. That ends today. By the time this video is done, you will have a clear picture of every meaningful alternative, from aging in place with support, to assisted living, to multigenerational living, to adult day programs and beyond. You'll understand what each option offers, who it's right for, and how to start making the shift. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most important question. Why do so many people end up in nursing homes when they don't actually need to be there? The answer is almost always the same. A crisis happens. A fall, a hospitalization, a sudden decline in function. The family is stressed and scared and needs a quick answer. The hospital discharge team suggests a skilled nursing facility. And before anyone has had a chance to breathe and think clearly, a life-altering placement decision has been made in a matter of hours. The nursing home becomes the answer, not because it was the best answer, but because it was the fastest answer available under pressure. And once someone is placed in a nursing home, the data is sobering. Only about 1 in 4 people ever return to living in the community. So, the best time to understand your options is right now, before a crisis forces your hand. The first and most powerful alternative to a nursing home is something called aging in place, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It means staying in your own home, in your own community, surrounded by your own belongings and your own memories, with the right support systems built around you. For millions of people, aging in place is not just possible, it is deeply preferable, and research consistently shows that older adults who remain in their own homes have better mental health outcomes, stronger sense of identity, and in many cases, even better physical health than those moved into institutional settings. The key word is support. Aging in place doesn't mean aging without help. It means getting the right help in the right place, your home. There are several layers to successful aging in place. The first is home modification. Many of the dangers that make people feel they can no longer live safely at home are fixable with relatively simple changes. Installing grab bars in the bathroom and shower takes one afternoon. Removing rugs and tripping hazards costs nothing. Adding a raised toilet seat, a shower chair, a bed rail, or a stair lift can dramatically reduce fall risk and restore independence. Adding better lighting throughout the home, especially in hallways and bathrooms at night, addresses one of the most common causes of nighttime falls. A home safety assessment done by an occupational therapist can identify every specific risk in a person's home and recommend targeted solutions. This is a service that Medicare often covers, and it is one of the most valuable and underutilized resources in senior health. The second layer of aging in place is home care services. And this is where many families discover a world of support they never knew existed. Home care can mean many different things depending on the level of need. It can mean a home health aide who comes for a few hours each day to help with bathing, dressing, meal preparation, and medication reminders. It can mean a skilled nurse who visits weekly to manage wound care, monitor blood pressure, or oversee a complex medication regimen. It can mean a physical therapist who comes to the home to work on strength, balance, and mobility after a fall or a hospital stay. It can mean a meal delivery service like Meals on Wheels that ensures proper nutrition without the burden of cooking. It can mean a companion service, someone who visits regularly just to provide social connection and a watchful eye. The beauty of home care is that it is entirely customizable. You build the package of support around the specific needs of the specific person, and you can adjust it as those needs change over time. This is something a nursing home can never offer. The second major alternative is assisted living, and it is one that is widely misunderstood. Many people confuse assisted living with nursing homes, but they are fundamentally different environments. A nursing home is a medical facility. Assisted living is a residential community. Assisted living communities are designed for people who need some help with daily activities, bathing, dressing, medication management, but who do not require round-the-clock skilled medical nursing care. They typically offer private or semi-private apartments, communal dining, organized social activities, transportation services, and on-site staff available throughout the day and night. The atmosphere is far more like a community than an institution. Residents maintain a significant degree of independence and autonomy. They can decorate their own space, come and go as they are able, and have a social life with peers. For someone who is lonely, unsafe, or struggling to manage at home but does not have complex medical needs, assisted living can be genuinely life-enriching. Not a consolation prize, but a real upgrade in quality of life. The key is finding the right community, visiting multiple options, asking detailed questions about staffing ratios and care plans, and making sure the environment feels warm, engaged, and well-managed. The third alternative is one that is gaining enormous momentum across the Western world, and it is something many cultures outside of the West never stopped doing: multigenerational living. This is the arrangement where an older parent moves in with an adult child and their family, or where the family moves in with the older parent. When it works well, it is arguably the most powerful of all the alternatives, because it provides not just practical support, but the deep emotional nourishment of family connection, the thing that research repeatedly identifies as the single most important factor in healthy aging. Children grow up knowing their grandparents. The older adult remains woven into the fabric of daily family life rather than removed from it, and the family gains a deeper understanding of aging and caregiving that shapes how they will care for themselves as they grow older. Making multi-generational living work requires honest conversations about roles, boundaries, privacy, and finances. It often benefits from some home modifications, a converted garage, a granny flat, or a lower floor bedroom suite. But for families where the relationships are strong and the practical arrangements can be worked out, it is one of the most dignified and enriching options available. The fourth alternative is the Adult Day program, and it is one of the most underused resources in senior care. Adult Day programs are community-based centers that older adults attend during the day, typically several days a week, and return home from in the evenings. They provide structured activities, social engagement, meals, health monitoring, and in many cases, therapeutic services like physical therapy, occupational therapy, or cognitive stimulation programs. They are ideal for older adults who are cared for by a family member at home, but whose family caregiver works during the day, or who would simply benefit from regular social engagement and stimulation outside of the home. They are also ideal for people in the early to moderate stages of cognitive decline, where a structured, safe, socially rich environment during the day dramatically improves both well-being and behavioral symptoms. Adult day programs are typically far less expensive than residential care options, and many are subsidized based on income. They give older adults a reason to get up, get dressed, and engage with the world, and that alone has profound effects on mental and physical health. The fifth alternative is one that has emerged as a genuine movement in aging, the PACE program, which stands for Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. PACE is a Medicare and Medicaid-funded program available in many parts of the United States and expanding rapidly. It is designed specifically for people who are at the nursing home level of care, but who want to remain living in the community. PACE provides a comprehensive package of medical care, social services, therapies, meals, transportation, and caregiver support, all coordinated through a single interdisciplinary team. Participants typically attend a PACE center several days a week and receive care at home on the other days. The outcomes from PACE programs are consistently impressive: lower hospitalization rates, better chronic disease management, higher quality of life, and importantly, the ability to remain living at home. If you or someone you love has been told they need nursing home level care, finding out whether a PACE program is available in your area is one of the most important calls you can make. The sixth and final alternative I want to share today is one that addresses something beyond the physical challenges of aging: the crushing isolation that so often drives people toward institutional care when the real problem is loneliness, not medical complexity. Villages, with a capital V, are a grassroots movement that began in Boston in the early 2000s and has now spread to hundreds of communities across the country and beyond. A village is a membership-based community organization where older adults support each other through rides to medical appointments, help with grocery shopping, social events, volunteer coordination, home repairs, and simple companionship. They are run by and for older adults, and they are built on the recognition that what most people need in order to thrive as they age is not a facility. It is a community. If there is a village in your area, it is worth exploring. If there isn't, the Village to Village Network provides resources for starting one. These organizations have kept thousands of people thriving in their own homes who might otherwise have been isolated and eventually institutionalized. Now, I want to speak for a moment directly to the family members watching this, because I know this topic comes with enormous emotional weight. Deciding how to care for an aging parent or spouse when their independence is fading is one of the hardest things a family goes through. It brings up guilt, fear, grief, and sometimes conflict. I want you to know that choosing an alternative to a nursing home is not about denial. It is not about refusing to accept reality. It is about fighting for the quality of life that your loved one deserves, because they deserve to live in a place that feels like home, surrounded by people who love them, with as much dignity and autonomy as possible for as long as possible. That is not an unrealistic goal. With the right planning, the right support, and the right information, it is absolutely achievable for the majority of older adults. The single most important thing you can do is to start planning before a crisis forces your hand. Have the conversations now. Assess the home now. Research the programs and communities in your area now. Because when you have a plan, a crisis becomes a moment of transition rather than a moment of panic. And the decisions made from a place of preparation are always better than the decisions made from a place of fear. So let's bring everything together. If you or someone you love is reaching a point where living alone has become difficult or unsafe, please know this: a nursing home is not the only answer, and for most people, it is not the best answer. Aging in place with the right home modifications and care support, assisted living communities, multi-generational living with family, adult day programs, PACE programs, and community village networks. These are real, proven alternatives that allow older adults to live with dignity, connection, and genuine quality of life. Here is your action step for today. Pick one alternative from this video that feels most relevant to your situation, and spend 30 minutes this week researching what is available in your community. One phone call, one website, one conversation. That's all it takes to start opening up possibilities you may not have known existed. You don't have to figure this out overnight, you just have to start. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, please hit that like button right now. It helps so many other families find this information when they need it most. Leave a comment below and tell me your situation or your questions, because I read every single comment and I genuinely want to help. If you have a parent or a spouse who is facing this crossroads, share this video with someone who needs to see it today. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We post every week on everything that matters for living well after 50. I'm Dr. Michael Kent, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself and the people you love.